Hello everyone, we're just gonna have another bit of an update. As you can see, the tub and the cab, everything is all off. Not really that difficult of a job, you know, I did it myself. And that, so basically it's just disconnecting everything, leaving as much as I can all connected with a few lines, brake lines and that, left them all connected, just disconnected the brake servo and that, strapped it all up to the engine and then lifted the tub off. We used the winch up there and then a block and tackle at the other end and that, and hoisted it up and away we went. Just rolled out the chassis, dropped it down. I did have a video and that, but somehow I did manage to delete it, plonker that I am. But as you can see, chassis very good condition, apart from the dried up mud. There's no rot or anything. I did clean it, wax oil it years ago, which has paid dividends now, and that, apart from just the just tiny little bit of surface rust, so it'll be expected just along the top here, and that, we are all good. Now you get a better picture of the twin trans set up there, transmission brake, nice and easy to see now. So I will now then roll it back out the weekend, give everything a good pressure wash off and that, then give it a good checking over again. The only bits that I can see, they're not really rotted out, but this here, you give it a tap, just does seem a bit flimsy, but that is the factory cross member there. But, everything else this side and that, all good. So I will then hopefully get the double cab body in and that, get that one all winched up, roll this one in and lower him down, and then see how he's gonna fit and that, hopefully, and that the shock hoops can stay. But I'm thinking the double cab is going to be wider, so they may foul. If not, I'll just if they do, just cut them out and that, adjust them, put them back on, no real hardship. And that, hopefully the body mounts, again, there may be some alteration to do, but I have the body mounts from the double cab chassis which I can cut off, weld onto this one. I suspect these ones here, which for the tub and that, I may have to change, alter and that, but until we get it all on, dropped on and that, we won't find out. Did have to cut and grind off the tabs that were the external cage was welded to, and that's just smoothed everything up there on the rock sliders, and that just makes stops me cutting myself. But as you can see, everything else is good, no oil leaks or anything. And that on the engine, gearbox, I did have a little bit of oil coming out of here and that, but I think that was just the paper gasket not been very good. When it goes back on, we'll seal it up with some instant gasket and that, take off the transmission brake there, give everything a clean up there and that, get it all back on. I do have a front 3-link suspension kit, and that, basically using the trail gear and that creeper joints, same as the back, and that I could do it, be a lot easier while it's the tub, the body and that's all off, but just adds more time to the job, and ideally want to get it on as quickly as I can, at least so I can get it back on the road and then enjoy it a little bit for this summer. Otherwise, one of those things, one job leads to another and that, before I know it, and that I'll be doing something ridiculous. So as I say, we'll see how it goes, how the tub, the body and that, when it all goes on and then lines up, and that if it all goes on quite smoothly, it might just go on and then do the 3-link at a later date. But if there's a lot of the body mounts and that to move, we may think, well, sod it, and do that while it's all off. So I do have the crossover steering there, so I'll just be removing the front springs, making up the links, and that, which, as I say, same on the back there, you can see them there, the top link, 2 lower links, and that basically same sort of principle. But on this side, and that, as mine is a right hand drive, and that, as I say, I'm hoping that the top link and that is all going to come up here, as you can see, and that a nice space for it there. And that, I know that they're normally on the other side there, and you're fighting for space in around the prop, and we do have the exhaust and everything else up there, so ideally we can get it up this side here, and then the panhard rod going across there as well, which, and that again is tight for space, but will match that upper steering link there. So hopefully everything else should it should all work pretty good. And that, so as I say, it's just a quick update. And that, I do tend to lose myself. As soon as I start something, I've got to force myself to get out the camera sometimes and do the little videos and that. So I do get a bit involved. The old mind switches off, focus on what I'm doing there, and then before I know it, it's 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and we've gone right through a job without taking any videos or anything. So I will try and force myself putting the tub on, the body and that, so you can see. But as I say, it did come off relatively easy, and that, everything unbolted, no seized bolts or anything, and that, and just lifting it up. It was tight, the roof and that tight up against the steel there, and it was literally millimetre clearance, and that on there, just a quick jiggle around a couple of the bolts, and that in the transmission tunnel there, but nothing drastic, just a quick waggle of the body there just to get around the cables. But as you can see there, everything else is all good, but we get it out, get everything pressure washed off and that, and then it'll be a quick paint up with the chassis, all spruced up there, nice and clean, and then do a trial fit and that of the tub then. And that, I probably won't do an exo cage again, and that, hopefully all of these, but as I say, because it's going over to a double cab, we'll see how this part here, the kick out, is going to be affected, whether the doors are going to be too close. The previous body and that, I did have a 3-inch body lift on it. I was hoping to try and reduce that a little bit, just keep the height down, keeps the lady wife a bit happy, and that, she never did like getting in it because it was too tall and that. And then, as she said, everybody stares at her when the half doors were on, so now this hopefully will make it a little bit more practical and that, so she tend to be a bit more pleasing going out in it. But as I say, that's it, another job done, and hopefully this weekend I will try and get the double cab on, as if just to see and that, what everything else is, how it's all going to fit. So that's it for now. Hopefully another one at the weekend when the double cab is on, and that, have a walk through there and then show you what we've got up to. Bye for now.